everybody. Welcome to our live studio show here on MXGPTV.com with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland. It's round 10 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. This is the LIQUI MOLY MXGP of Germany at the Talkessel circuit in Teushenthal. On our studio show today, we have Oriol Oliver, Gabriel SS24 KTM Factory Junior rider. We have Pauls Jonass coming in as well, Kawasaki Racing Team. And at the end of the show, Marco Maddii, team manager for Aruba.it Ducati Factory MX team. Before we go there, though, Lisa Leyland, here we are once again. We are approaching the halfway stage. This will be the halfway stage.
Super fast every year.
Flying by. What's been one or some of your standout moments so far?
There's been a few. Sardinia, Kai de Wolf, kind of clawing back that GP victory in that race. Lugo with the Argo hits in the qualifying race. That was nice. That was a nice moment. And there's been loads.
Absolutely. Do you want to know mine?
No.
Last weekend, Oriol Oliver getting his best ever Grand Prix performance, 4th overall. And what a fantastic performance
that was definitely up there as well, Oriol. Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, it was.
And speaking of which, he's in here now. Should we meet him?
Seamless.
Oriol Oliver, come on in.
That was your cue, by the way.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. But last year when he was on the studio show, it was like, on our show we've got Oriol. He couldn't get in quick enough.
Yeah.
And now he's in. Oriol, great to see you. As we said, last weekend, your career best finish, 4th overall. And I guess for you, it was nice to finally get that result because so many times just outside of the top 5 and when been in good positions. You know, how was it for you last week, just finally getting that 4th overall?
Like you said, so many times trying and not being there, you know. So it was finally really a relief to be there. I was already a little bit with a relief in Trentino with a 6 in that second moto, because it was my first race with the team, so I could see some potential on the bike, on the team, good people around. But yeah, last weekend was really good. First moto, actually, I maybe could pass for 3rd. I was trying hard. At some laps, I was thinking, I will. But yeah, at the end was not possible. But a 4 and a 7 was good for 4th, not for 3rd, but was still a really good race.
So what changed last week? Anything on the bike, anything in your approach? Or was it just something simple, like you had a good Saturday and it turned into an even better Sunday and stayed out of trouble, I guess?
Yeah, for sure. With really not normal conditions in the last races was a little bit of chaos, let's say, with the crashes. So, but what changed was a different shock. I did the British the weekend before, so we make some changes, and I felt way better with the shock. So that was a change for this race. And another change was just more time on my bike, because in Lugo and Águeda I was racing with my bike from the team, but then I was training in my home with another bike from KTM Spain that is completely different. So it was just more time in the bike. Feeling better every weekend, actually. Yeah.
Well, you had to switch teams before Trentino. You're now with Gabriel SS24. How much have they helped you with your riding, and how much of that result last weekend was down to them?
Yeah, was a lot, because, like I said, now I have been 3 years with in the MX2 trying to do good, and was not possible. I was always struggling a little bit to find my flow and my riding, and with this team, the bike is allowing me to ride free and good. So it's a big relief to finally feel good on myself just riding.
Yeah, exactly. And we're just watching it now. What was that atmosphere like in that first race? And what was going through your mind, Oriol, and thinking, oh my God, I can actually get on the podium, potentially a top 3 as possible? Yeah,
when I see P4, I was just trying to pass for P3. And no, just the riding was really good, and nice to have a normal GP with no MADDI, you know, and not crashing. So it was really good to put it together.
So you enjoying it then?
Yeah, I was enjoying it. When I go to the weekend knowing that I have the speed for be there, it's really more fun and out of stress, actually.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've raced in the Spanish Championship, won races, won overalls, things like that, and maybe other venues. So in MX2, when you get that close to P3, P4, you then go into the break going, man, there's a potential podium here if I make another good start, if I stay out of trouble, if I can put everything together. How are you feeling going into race 2, knowing a potential podium was on the cards, or didn't you really think about it?
Yeah, I really think about it. Not a lot, but I try to forget a little bit and say to myself, just another race, go for it, every position counts. And I didn't know that, actually, if I pass for 6 in second moto, was not enough for the podium. No. But still, I didn't want to know positions, just I was trying my best. And yeah, it's good to think that was just a little bit for the podium and give me confidence for this race,
Sure.
Germany.
Well, actually, that was my next question. Do you see, like, you missed the podium by just 1 point. Do you see that as perhaps an opportunity missed, or do you look at that, look at all the positives and say, you know what, that is a good motivation going forward?
I look at it like a motivation and to remind myself that every position is important. And if I can do it in the beginning of the race, better. Because look at with Lata, for example, I couldn't pass. And yeah, these tracks are difficult. Sometimes it's only one line, you know, sometimes. And yeah, you need to try your best in every lap. Yeah, try to pass.
So what's next then? Has that sort of result kind of lifted a little bit of pressure off you now? Because, you know, as a rider, sometimes it can be frustrating knowing that you've been so close, but a mechanical or a mistake or someone took you out or whatever else. But it was your first really solid weekend. How do you feel now for the second half of the season, starting this weekend? How do you think things could play out, given the situation that you had last week? You know, good starts and things like that.
Yeah, now I move with the team in Lommel, so it's more, I will be more, how to say, coming into the weekend with already the feeling on the bike. So I'm feeling confident, good feeling on the bike. I just want to make the starts are really important. We will try to get better for this weekend. A really important track for the starts. Like I said, tight track. The new part is actually more tight, so even more hard to pass. So no, the approaching to the races will be good now, and I think better than ever.
Yeah. And obviously we're in the middle of 3 in a row. So how does your preparation kind of for that change compared to when we have maybe just one GP on its own, like when we go to Maddii, for instance, or Finland? Yeah,
no, just staying with the team in Lommel. It's not so far from here, so it will be good. And yeah, it will be a year that I will have a lot of races because I do the national in Spain, the British now.
How many of those have you got left?
5? 2 from the national in Spain and from the British 6.
Okay.
I missed the Sunday in one of the national races, so I lose the red plate to go to one from the British.
Yes.
So yeah, we are trying the best. I mean, I'm a guy that I like to go to the races and stay busy.
Yeah.
So it will help.
You're very busy, aren't you?
Actually busy. You rode Saturday National Championship and then jumped on a flight and turned up to London and then rode Sunday in England.
Super busy.
And I was mad because First Moto couldn't make some good points because they red flagged it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You took a flight for that?
I took a flight for good day and take good points and was not possible. Just one, the other moto, yes, I win. Yeah. I won. But yeah, busy, but I like it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, look, stay busy this weekend and for the rest of the season. Hopefully that top 3 and a podium is on somewhere on the horizon. Yeah. But thanks for joining us this weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, Oriol.
Well, look, our second guest is waiting to join us, Pauls Jonass, Kawasaki Racing Team, MXGP. But before we catch up with him, though, Daniela Guillen was at Lugo riding a home Grand Prix a couple of weeks ago. Here's a little episode, Forest Fires, our next episode of Behind the Gate, which is out now. You can watch it if you haven't already done so. Let's check in with Daniela.
Listen to the fans and I put my 100% to the race and do my best.
She will cut down early or even run it down the inside of the Italian, just like she tried a lap ago, and she makes the move into second. It's a successful pass this time around for Guillen. In amongst the back markers, we've got a Spaniard who leads on lap 7. The 255, the Spaniard, she wins race 1. She wins race 1 here at home. And Daniela Guillen with her 8th career race win.
Here in Lugo, it's crazy. All the people, the fans, and it was so amazing. And
Daniela Guillen gave her home fans exactly what they wanted with that first race victory.
it's in here. I don't know why this number. I like it so much. Also because all my life I put 5, so yeah, 255. It's my number.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our live studio show here on MXGPTV.com with me, Paul Mayland, and Lisa Leyland. Our second guest joins us now, Pauls Jonass from Kawasaki Racing Team MXGP. PJ, good to see you. First of all, how are you feeling? Because I saw this week you were suffering the flu or you were just ill the last couple of weeks. Brand new?
Yeah, feeling better. You see my socks, 100%. So. No, I'm feeling better. Still, there's still some stuff coming out of my nose and throat, but it's much better than last weekend. You know, last weekend was super tough because I was really sick the week before France, and yeah, just try to survive. And you know, in MXGP class, if you're not 100%, yeah, then you're battling for P15.
Yeah, I know we're at the halfway stage, but is a new team for you? Well, new colours, but not exactly a new team for you, is it? Is it good to be back there?
Yeah, it's good to be back. You know, like, okay, everyone says it's the same team, but just like, to be honest, there's only Antti and Antonio. They're two guys from back in the day. So generally it's a new team, and the team is way bigger. And yeah, it's nice to be back. And it's nice to be back. They've been really good to me.
And how was the transition then? Because obviously, you know, going from one bike to another, some people take a little longer to sort of get used to ergonomics, bar position, seating position, things like that. But what about you? You've kind of taken to it pretty well, pretty easily?
Yeah, to be honest, like the first impressions was really good because, yeah, I was injured whole end of the last year, so I didn't ride with the bike for 4 months, you know, and then the first time I rode, I went straight on a Kavi, and the feeling was good, you know. So it's always the first if the first impression is good, then it's easier to keep going. Yeah.
Okay, you're currently 12th in the points at the moment, Pauls, not helped by the fact that you missed the 3 rounds, which is a shame, really, because before Riola, you had 3 top 6th race finishes in a row, actually, in fact. So you were looking good, weren't you?
Yeah, like, you know, the crash in Riola, that would really set me back big time, you know. And to be honest, it wasn't a big crash, but just like the consequences weren't the best, you know. I was out for a while, and the concussions are never easy. So that really set me back, and I feel all right, but still some days I feel some things from the crash from Riola. So it's not the best, but like you said, the beginning of the season started well, and I was trending in a good direction, and then, yeah, just one setback, and then before France I got sick again, so another setback. So it's been a little bit tough physically and also mentally, of course, because, yeah, the goal is to battle up front, and when you're not able to do that, it's not so easy.
Yeah, of course you want to be up front. 2 top 5 overall finishes as well. Was that the goal pre-season, or were you thinking, actually, podiums are more than possible on weekends where everything sort of fits into place?
Yeah, of course, like beginning the season, the goal was for sure to battle for top 5s, but also like to just go for podiums, because I know that the team and I, we are capable of it. And yeah, like you said, I had already some good top 6 finishes, which were good and trending in a good direction. And you know, with the new bike, new team, in race conditions, it still takes some time to adapt and to learn everything to 100%. And to be honest, I think we still haven't managed to show my and the bike's true potential in the race days.
First in warm-up this morning?
Maybe this weekend.
Well, look, one place where you haven't struggled for podiums is your home GP, Kegums, Latvia. That's next weekend.
Yeah.
How much are you looking forward to going back there, and any sort of special kit, special helmet, all these kind of things that riders like to do for the home GP, or is it just business as usual for PJ?
No, for sure. I haven't been able to race last two years in GP of Latvia because I was injured, but I'm really looking forward to it. And just before leaving to Germany, I got a fresh set of gear for home GP, so you're gonna see it's gonna be a really nice kit, and special Latvian colors, special helmet, special gear. So it's always nice, you know, going back home to see the fans, family, and everyone around. You know, even here in Germany, like, to be honest, I'm surprised how many Latvians are here. So it's it's already getting warm up for home GP.
You said you're looking forward to going home, seeing the family. Will you go straight from here, or will you stay out there a couple of days after the GP because we haven't got any race afterwards?
Yeah, I go back to Belgium now, and then I'll just stay a few more days after the GP in Latvia. You know, we go together with the wife and the kid. You know, bring my son to Latvia for first time. So yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, he still hasn't been to Latvia, so it's going to be exciting for him as well.
Nice.
Is that a road trip in the camper?
No, we're going to fly. The plan was we were thinking maybe to go straight here with the camper to Latvia, but it's a long trip, you know. But so we're going to fly down there and enjoy it in that way.
Is the home GP for you, Pauls, quite a stressful GP, or do you feel perhaps maybe a little bit more relaxed now? We've got some up-and-coming Latvian riders, EMX 250, MX2 with Carlos and Jonass.
Yeah, I think a few years back, everyone came to see me race because, you know, there wasn't really anyone else in a GP level. But now, you know, with Carlos, Jonass, and a few other EMX riders, Latvia has a bright future ahead, and I think it takes some pressure away from me, you know, because they still have someone else to support. And it's exciting, you know. I think the future in Latvia in motocross is really bright, and we are seeing now with the more and more youngsters coming up.
Yeah. This
weekend in Germany, obviously Simo Langenfelder arrives here with the championship leaders red plate. You've done that before in MX2 back in 2017. I think you went there with a 19-point advantage that day, that weekend. What's that like? Because Romain did it last week, first time going to France, his home GP with the red plate. Simon's doing it now. You've also experienced that. How is that as a rider? Is it extra motivation? Is there a little bit more whatever? And what do you think Simon's feeling this weekend?
For sure, it brings some extra pressure, but you know, at that point when you're leading championship, it's just business as usual. You're just so focused on a big goal that nothing else really matters, you know. Yeah. Of course, home GP, home crowd, it brings some extra stress, extra pressure, but like once the gate drop, yeah, you just go for it.
Yeah, and obviously we mentioned it earlier, we're pretty much at the halfway stage this weekend, round 10. What next for you? What would you like to sort of achieve from here on out for the rest of the season? Race wins, podiums, just stay out of trouble and just keep on trying to score as many points as possible? What's the plan?
The plan is, first let's go for podiums, and then we try to set the new goals. You know, first podiums, and then we see. You know, if you're going wide open and trying to battle up for podiums, then also for sure we'll try to stay out of trouble. But that's not the main goal. The main goal is to try to be up front.
Yeah. And what about the circuit here this weekend? They made some changes. Turn 9, so just a couple corners after the finish line, we kind of hit that city jump, and then instead of a long sweep and left to the uphill triple, we now sort of cut down and use that infield a little bit different. How was it for you in that first free practice session?
It was good. You know, it's always nice when you come to some track and see a new change. You know, like this track has been for a while, bit more or less the same, you know, with the layout and the jumps and stuff. So when you come new, it's a bit exciting, you know, do the first free practice. Like the most important thing was when you hit that city jump and then not just go to straight, you know, because you're so used to keeping the momentum, that left-hander, but now, yeah, tight 180, yeah, almost 180. So it's quite nice. Also, the wave section, what they built there is quite good, and it's gonna get quite rough, you know, like the track here always gets with the deep ruts, big acceleration bumps, big braking bumps. So it's going to be exciting racing, I think.
Yeah, and sometimes it's windy here. It was windy yesterday. Yeah. How does that affect? Normally over the finish line jump, I think, if it's a busy day, a windy day.
Yeah, on the finish line it's always a bit sketchy when it's windy, and especially when the wind is blowing from actually this side where you are sitting to the other side. Like, it's easy to jump off the track, but this morning it felt good. No wind, full sunshine. Hopefully the rain stays away this weekend.
Cool. Well, look, enjoy it this weekend. Thanks for stopping by, and yeah, all the best next week as well, and for the rest of the season.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Pauls Jonass there. Right, I'm hoping our final guest is in. I think I can see some red outside here. If that's the case, that'll be Marco Maddii. But until then, let's check in with David Braceras. He did the GoPro lap for us in Lugo a couple of weeks ago. First time ever he did that, actually, and there's a little bit more behind the scenes with him as well from our Forest Fires episode of Behind the Gate, which you can watch now on MXGPTV.com. More in a moment.
Sector deportivo del circuito. Después estuvo Pauls Jonass, acá mandamos un cariñoso recuerdo a lo que fallecía hace 2 meses. 3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, the first time doing the GoPro Lab in hometown, so I was really happy to do it. When you told me if you want to do, I said, of course I want, because I like also when I saw that the people was screaming when I do the lap was really, really nice. And yeah, I just did 2 laps, tried to make one small whip and show the track to everyone. In time practice, I think was my 3rd lap or something like this. I had a really big crash. You know, you have the big table in the middle of the track, then you go right, another table, left, with one bump inside, and then you have small straight and again. That in that left corner with the bump inside, just before I lose the rear a little bit, and I was in fastest lap, and my hand go off of the handlebar, and just when the bike go like this on the bump, I was not with the hand in the handlebar, and then I just fly over the bikes and was really big crash. When they say it's nothing broken, then we were really happy, because when we saw also how was quite big my arm, we were thinking maybe it's broken, but it wasn't. I speak with my physio, and we were working in the evening. They closed quite good the cut. Sunday I was feeling better. I have a little bit of a strain. I try in the warm-up, was of course a little bit painful, but yeah, it was no problem to ride. I managed, and yeah, that's it.
How was the feeling?
It will be a hard day, but I can. The pain is controllable, so.
Feel a little bit high? Yeah.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the final part of our studio show here on MXGPTV.com with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland. Our next guest joins us now is the team manager for Aruba.it Ducati Factory MX team. Marco Maddii, how are you? Good to see you. Fresh in from the Ducati production press launch a couple of days ago, start of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. How was it, and what kind of feedback have you had, first of all? Where was it?
Yeah, nice. Thank you, Paul, to invite me. Yeah, there's a lot of going on for Ducati in the last weeks. Just had this week the launch of the bike in Faenza, in Montecoralli. And it was really good. Feedbacks were really positive from everybody. Everybody appreciate the handling of the bike, the power of the bike. So definitely a very positive launch of the bike, and very good.
Actually, just another quick question. How stressful was it arranging that press launch?
Yeah.
Do you have people there, or are you very much hands-on with that to make sure everything...
No, actually we were not so involved because we are focused on the GP and we are racing every weekend, but we follow from far, and it was really stressful, you know. It's a key, the production of the bike and how many bikes we gonna sell, it's a key of this project, you know, because we do racing for selling bikes, so this will be very important.
Sure. Well, obviously, we're at the halfway stage now. MXGP is the first year that Ducati, this year is the first year Ducati have been competing for the whole season. Yeah. How would you evaluate the performance of the team so far?
So far, positive. We thought to fight for some podiums more in the middle at the end of the season, because the bike is developing and we still have many things to bring on the track. So we thought, okay, maybe after 12, 13 GP, we will be ready to fight for the podium, but it went better. Yeah. And so we bring home already 2 podiums with Jeremy, 2 fourth position with Mattia. So far, we are really happy. We just miss some consistency. We are going a bit up and down, some very good weekends, some weekends not so good. But so far, the potential of the riders and the bike was always good. We just made some mistakes, some crash, but positive, for sure positive.
And how much of a challenge has it been for the team, for you, these past couple of years, building a bike for MXGP, the toughest championship in the world?
Yeah, very difficult, very different, a big challenge. We had to also understand what we need for this class. And this also took a bit of time for us, for Ducati. And we are alone, you know, doing this development. So sometimes you don't know where to go, so you need to think about it. It's not easy. It's a big challenge, but like I say, so far we are very happy and seems that everything is going in the right direction.
Yeah, well, you just mentioned the podiums there, and I know at the start of the year you did say that you wanted podiums for Ducati this year. Perhaps many people thought that was quite ambitious, but then you did mention you have 2 podiums so far with Jeremy. Have you perhaps adjusted your expectations now because of those podiums?
The expectation now are a little bit higher, you know. We already see that we can constantly fight for podiums. Already in Trento, I think Jeremy, he was ready to fight for the podium, but he had the crash in the second motor, so we didn't fight for the podium. But I think after Riola, we made one good step, and there, for Jeremy, the situation changed. So after Riola, he changed in the right. We changed some things, and everything went much better.
Yeah.
So that was for sure the key point for Jeremy to perform better.
Well, it's no secret inside the paddock that Jeremy has this engineering background, this brain and everything else. And he's obviously had a lot of experience working and developing with factory teams as well. How important has his knowledge been in the success of Ducati this year? And what's he like to work with?
Yeah, very important, very important. That's why was one reason more to have Jeremy on board in the first year, because his approach, his knowledge, and I think Jeremy is helping a lot on developing the bike and bring us in the right direction. So it was really important for us to have him on board. And I have to say that he's really doing a great job, because even from outside you can see that the bike is developing and performing better and better. So everybody can see, and Jeremy is doing a really important part of this job.
Sure.
And your other rider, Matteo Guadagnini, you just mentioned then, he almost got the first podium for Ducati in Argentina with 4th overall. What was that weekend like for you and for Ducati?
Excited, but we didn't know what to expect. After all the winter alone training, we didn't know what to expect. We thought that we were not so far, so we were positive, but you never know, you know, until you are not behind the gate. So we were very nervous, but finally the stress went away after we saw that we were really, really there and competing for important positions. So it was really, really nice and very emotional moment for everybody, you know, at the end of the race, bring home a 4th position. I still have goosebumps, you know, to think about. So
both guys here, look.
Yes. So far for me, I think it's the best race I remember of the season, yes.
Perfect.
Nice.
And just real quick, obviously you've got the 250 project being developed as well in the background with Antonio Cairoli, Alessandro Lupino. How's that going at the moment?
It's going good. 250, I mean, the chassis, and it's the same of the 450, so it only changed the engine. And it's going very good. I think the Desmo system in the 250 gonna be even better than the 450, so let's see. Still a long way to develop the bike.
Is there a way that we might see the 250 in a GP before the end of the season, or if not, will it be in GP with the team next year?
I think the plan at the moment is GP next season. This year only national championship like we did last year, but not GP at the moment for the 250.
I guess it's difficult though, isn't it? Because a lot of riders are tied to contracts, and you have the age rule, which is why Alessandro or Antonio can't ride, you know, in MX2.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna wait a little bit more, but I think that the 250 is also competitive like the 450.
Cool. All right. Well, look, Marco Maddii, thanks for joining us. You know, good luck with the rest of the project, and also 250 next year as well. But yeah, great to see you. First time on the studio show, I believe.
Thank you.
So no problem. Anyway, right, before we go, just to bring you up to speed as to what we can expect on MXGP TV today, we've got Okay, we've got MXCs coming up as well. We won't be showing that, but we show it, but we don't comment on it. But starting off at 1:11 with our MX2 time practice session, straight into MXGP, and then time practice, and then we've also got, as you can see here, WMX race 1, 250, 125 race 1, then the MX2 and MXGP qualifying races right at the end of the day. Look, there you go. So that's it. We are out of time. We are at the halfway stage of the championship. We will see you next week in Latvia, the MXGP of Latvia at Kegam. So from me, from Lisa, thanks to Marco and the rest of our guests. Enjoy your weekend. See you next week. Bye for now.